Hi. Well, long time no see. Today I would like to share with you my, so to say, holistic view of the world, what has happened in the past weeks. Yeah, things are changing fast and faster and faster. You know, usually when the world is changing faster and faster, I always get the feeling that we are heading to something big, even bigger change. You know, something that could be a surprise for everybody. So before I go into all the details today, well, I will mention about the pandemic and about situation in Taiwan and South China Sea, and about the G7 summit, and also about what is happening with Xi Jinping, and finally I will also mention a big defector, a high-ranking defector from China. So, but before I go into that, I just want to remind you, please check your subscription is still valid, check your notification is still valid, and also don't forget afterward, if you like it, click like, and do support us with Patreon or PayPal. We need your support. I have been running this YouTube channel for more than 1 year. And actually, a lot of things that I share with you intuitively, it has shown that it's pretty correct. I have been, for example, mentioning that, CCP look tough, look strong, but they are actually facing a kind of isolation. Not a long time ago, I had an episode called Lonely China, and I always claim that there is a kind of global anti-CCP alliance is forming, and all this seems to become more and more true. And interesting is, let's take example COVID-19 or the CCP virus or this pandemic. You know that President Trump and President Biden have quite different opinion in many things, including about pandemic. Trump and also his Secretary of State, Pompeo, actually claimed for a long time ago, already last year, they claimed that very possible the virus came from the lab of Wuhan and spread in the whole world. And then Trump was, pointing out that how come that China stopped all in domestic flight to and from Wuhan and never stopped any international flight to and from Wuhan. I mean, that I agree in a way that this is enough to say that CCP has been acting criminally. Without even getting evidence about whether this virus really come from the Wuhan lab. I personally, from the very beginning of this pandemic, which means sometime in January, February 2020, I already claimed that most probably during research and development of a weaponized virus in the Wuhan P4 lab, an accident took place. So some virus, this terrible virus, leaked out and cost a lot of people's life in Wuhan. And the Chinese Communist Party got panic. So they did everything they could do to stop this virus continue to spread inside China, but they never do anything to stop the virus to spread outside China. Okay, that has been their strategy, and this is a fact. But interesting is, President Biden, has been saying for a long, long time that, this theory from Donald Trump is a conspiracy theory. There is no evidence and so on. And the same Mr. Biden now is ordering for a month ago, or 3 weeks ago, the intelligence agencies of America that within 90 days, they have to find out all the facts and all the evidence whether this virus came from Wuhan laboratory. Yeah? And I have been claiming, yeah, I don't have all the evidence, but sometimes you cannot always wait until you have. I'm not a judge in a court. Yeah, I cannot wait forever for all this evidence. But to make a judgment about what is really going on, you can also base on logical deriving, logical analysis. And for me, it was very logical from the beginning that CCP tried to weaponize virus. Yeah, it's very simple. There has a lot of document now coming out recently. We have learned that already 2016 there was a researcher in the Wuhan lab published a paper 2016 about he's working in a project to find out a way to make a virus more aggressive, more transmittable. Hey, my goodness, why you want to do that if you are not trying to weaponize virus? That's the only reason, right? So that was 2016. And of course, recently, I think it was not Washington Post, it said Wall Street Journal disclosed that 3 researchers in Wuhan lab got sick September 2019, and the symptoms look like COVID-19. So imagine, already in September, 2019, they got sick, they got transmitted with or infected with COVID-19, and they were doing research work in this lab. See, all this, when you put all this puzzle together, my theory seems to be correct. It becomes more and more correct. I know that I have been swimming against the tide, but sometimes, someone needs to swim against the tide. Otherwise, we all end up, in a kind of disaster. So I really appreciate for those people who join me to swim against the tide. Yeah. And so, how is the situation now? Well, you see, recently there was a G7 summit, actually these days, and G7, countries like USA, France, Germany, England, Japan, Italy, and so on, they sit together and discuss, and Canada, 7 countries. Together they have more than 50% of the world GDP, so it's already a very important organization. And the main topic is they want to discuss the harmful threat, the harmful activity, they don't call it threat, the harmful activity of China, they say. Well, actually, China, what they mean is, of course, CCP. Yeah? I must say, I like the way both Mike Pompeo and Donald Trump, they always say CCP. Yeah? They don't blame on China, because then you indirectly also blame on the Chinese people. That's not the Chinese people's fault. Yeah? It's the party, the CCP. So anyway, G7, they don't disclose, of course, everything, what they talk to each other, but the main topic was China. So it's for sure that this G7, it is a kind of anti-CCP global alliance, and they are the nucleus team of this anti-CCP alliance. And I said before, a country like Australia, New Zealand, and India, and Philippines, and Vietnam, they're all joining. So what I said half a year ago turned out to be true. When I mentioned that half a year ago, still maybe many people doubt if that is possible. It is possible. Now, finally, I want to say a few words about what is going on inside China. I tell you, Xi Jinping is facing tremendous problem. Maybe the worst situation for him since he became party general secretary, party boss, state of head, and also chairman of the military commission, the 3 most powerful positions. He's quite lonely because it is widely believed that he has hurt a lot of other party functionaries, high-ranking ones. Many of them hate him because in striving for his more power, he has sent many of the other party functionaries to jail, claiming that they were corrupted. They're taken bribing and so on. You know, in China, it's very easy. You can close your eye and point at any member of the Central Committee or member of the Police Bureau or even any official who are a party member. Any one of them has been involved in corruption. So you just need to spend some time, some people to go and look for it. And the person who has been helping Xi Jinping to find out a lot of evidence, you know, the super detective of Xi Jinping called Wang Qishan. He has been helping Xi Jinping to put a lot of his opponents in jail, like Bo Xilai, like Zhou Yongkang, and so on, you know, big tigers, they call it. Now, interesting is, the latest speculation, maybe, but I wouldn't say speculation, but say unofficial information, non-confirmed information, is saying that Wang Qishan, once the second most important person in China, is since already many months claimed to be in trouble. And the latest of the latest is, maybe he's the defector right now in America. Because what is true is that American media, Fox News and other media, has disclosed that historically highest ranking Chinese Communist Party official has defected to USA. And this defector even asked the agency, the DIA, American Defense Intelligence Agency, not to disclose his defecting to CIA, to FBI, or White House, because he said all these organizations, all these agencies are totally infiltrated by CCP. So he believed everything should stay in DIA, Defense Intelligence Agency. So, and now the hottest information, not confirmed information, is this defector could be Wang Qishan. And the reason is Wang Qishan helped Xi to, kick out a lot of opponents, and he felt probably now when he has finished all this, now Xi wants to kick him out. One thing can make you to believe that is because his right hand is now in jail, kicked out by Xi Jinping. So who knows? If that is true, he is the defector, my goodness, we have a lot to talk about in the coming episode. Thank you for watching. See you next time.